My husband and I did not grow up in families who openly talked about money. That meant that we got financially savvy a bit later than some people. We want our kids to be financially smart much earlier than us. This way, they can start building the habits they need to have a healthy financial life. To know more about finances, read. Today's video is sponsored by Fully Booked. As you know, we're stuck here at home, so perfect opportunity to read books if you ask me. I recommend The Latte Factor by David Back. In this book, he talks about small changes that you can do that will have a big impact to your financial life. Go to this link. Check out the books from Fully Booked. Now, to continue with our topic for today.
We have two very young daughters and we want them to understand how money works as early as now. Really, the other one is still a baby, so we really haven't gotten around to talking about money yet. But the other one is already in grade school. A lot of what we'll talk about now are things that we do to help her learn.
First, we allow her to independently make decisions about money. When we were kids, our first exposure to money-related decisions had to do with our allowance. Should we buy that ice cream or should I put my allowance in my piggy bank? Today, though, there are a lot more options that would allow kids to learn. For our firstborn, we have an agreed amount as her weekly allowance. Every week, she then decides whether she wants me to save it in her bank account so that she can save up for a VR headgear, which is rather expensive, or to send her the cash as Robux so that she can use it for Roblox. This teaches her what the effects of her choices are. If she chooses Roblox, it will take her a longer time to get that VR headset that she really wants, and we help compute that for her. If she saves up her allowance, she will be able to buy that headgear in no time. We leave the decision up to her and don't force her to do one over the other. Kids being kids though, they will sometimes go after the path of instant gratification. So as parents, we basically have to hype up what she's trying to save for. So we don't also make that judgment call on that big thing that she wants to save up for. As long as it's something that she wants, then she can go for it.
Researchers at the University of Illinois Chicago conducted experiments with children and found that children ages 3 to 12 find more happiness from goods than from experiences. That does change over time as their minds and memories develop, with experiences eventually surpassing the happiness derived from goods. This doesn't mean that you have to give expensive gifts. Kids love getting Kinder Joy eggs or a bag of gummy worms, for example. We did choose something that our daughter will have to save up for, so we can make our point.
We also teach her about the value of money. She was asking us why we invest in cryptocurrency last year, and this started the conversation about money, which eventually led to the fact that money, fiat specifically, basically loses value over time. We explained that if you keep your 100 pesos inside your piggy bank, that 100 pesos could buy you, say, a cheese dog this year. But next year, that same 100 pesos can only buy you a regular hot dog. This is called inflation. Inflation is the decline of purchasing power of your money over time. Next, we explained that we look for what are called investments that help make sure that your 100 pesos can either still buy us that cheese dog next year, or better yet, maybe a cheese dog and a drink.
With this, we also explained the concept of interest. When you place money in a bank, for example, that 100 pesos is used by the bank for other things. Things like loaning it out for people who want to start a business, buy a home, etc. And since you allowed other people to use your 100 pesos as a loan, they will at some point in the future give you more than 100 pesos. There are times when I pretend I don't have money, say 30 pesos to buy a roll of Mentos, and I ask to borrow from her. Then I promise her that I'll pay her back 35 pesos tomorrow, and we tell her that 5 pesos is the interest she earns.
Next, we taught her the importance of saving for a rainy day. Recently, all of us in this household got COVID, and it was a good time to show her that because we had some emergency funds saved up, we were able to buy medicine, vitamins, tools, and tests, and at the same time still afford to live in our house and eat good meals. It was a bit complicated to teach the concept of insurance, so we didn't talk about that yet.
We also teach her the value of sticking to commitments. Basically, we let her choose which extracurricular activities she wants to do, and then we ask her if she can commit to whatever's needed in those activities. With some, she will eventually find out that she doesn't like that. We still insist though that she goes to the meetings and the sessions because she has committed at least until the end of this program. Of course, after the program ends, we don't enroll her anymore. With most of the activities though, sometimes they conflict with some play dates or sometimes she just doesn't feel like it. Now this is a perfect teachable moment. We tell her that sticking to her commitments is never about your mood or what you feel. It's about making sure you complete and you do what you promised to do. Not because you feel like it, but because you said so. Of course, we then teach her some coping mechanisms, such as taking a break and identifying the feelings of being overwhelmed. But end of the day, she still has to follow through with what she committed to do.
Lastly, we teach her that money is not evil. You control how you use money, and when you have money, you should use it for good. It's not wrong to want to have a lot of money, especially if you want to use it for good and as long as you're not earning it at the expense of others. Admittedly, that concept is a bit amorphous at this point, but that's something we'll be revisiting as she grows older. Anyway, our point is that she should look at money just like any other tool, and as a tool, she can use it to make this world a better place.
So there are some of the things that we teach our daughter. We know that we'll be adding more, especially as she grows up. Are there other things that you teach your children? Please comment down below and we'd love to hear your experiences and your tips.
If you like this video, please like it, share it with other people who have kids at home, and click on that notification bell to be notified when we have other videos like this.